So friends, yeah, we already discussed about Python history and where it is used, how to install in Linux and Windows, how to run a program in that, right? So now we are going to discuss about some topics like some functions and data types in the Python. Okay, so in this we are going to talk about first variables. So you can see here I mentioned few examples: x equal to 10, y equal to 20, abc equal to 1, 2, 3. So the x, y and abc, it can be anything like uppercase or lowercase. But after the equal, the numbers, or it can be a string, or it can be a floating or boolean, any data type, it will be saved. You can see the data types here I mentioned. Okay, so integer means it's a round number, 1, 2 or 10 or 100, it's like that. The floating means it has the remainder values also. So with dot 1, 2, 3 dot 4, 5, 6, it's like that. The string is a simply a word or a character, it can be anything. The boolean means only true or false it will be. In the string, whatever you are giving as a string, it will be mentioned using single notation or double notation. But whenever you are using, you might have this uh, question. So this true or false also a characters, right? So the string also having some characters. So how it is taking whether this is boolean or a string, how it is differentiating. So let me tell you that the string whatever you are mentioning, that will be you are going to mention in the single notation or double notation. But for the boolean, you are not going to mention that single quotes or double quotes. Simply you can mention true or false, that is fine. So that is how this will take the differentiation, whether it is going to be a string or boolean. Okay, so now let me show you how the variable is working. Simply, it's nothing critical. So you can create new file here: x equal to 10, y equal to 20, right? So I am just giving, so it is asking me to save. Okay, I am saving it. Right, so it is stored. Now the value is stored actually, so we need to print this value. Okay, we need to see the value of this variable. So how to do that? Here, for that we will use print function. So this is the inbuilt function available in Python. So here I am just giving print x and then print y. So you can see this here. Now it is typing the answer value of the variable. So the x is the variable name and y is the variable name. 10 and 20 is going to be a value for the variable which is stored in the variable. Okay, so as well as we'll see, already I told you we can um, store n number of, means different types of data types in variable. So I'm just mentioning here true. This is boolean. So you can see here now I'm using the Windows. Here I'm using IDLE, so that's why it is giving the color changes. Sometimes in real time it might not show you, but just keep in mind that whatever we are giving true or false without single quotes, this will be considered as boolean value. So I didn't type this yet. Just give a minute. I'm executing this. Now you can see it is giving the value of all the variables. So in the same time, I'm going to save the true in single quotes or double quotes. Okay. See here. See, this is also showing us true. But to understand what type of data type it is, so we have a function called type. We have a function called type. So we already saw the function called print. So like the type also a function which is available by default in the Python. So using this type function, so we can simply understand, sorry, we can come to know what type of data type we are using. Okay, what type of data type we are using. So for that also we are going to use print. In that we will use, along with that we'll use type also, type of x. See here, x is a class integer. So now we will differentiate this true. Okay, we will check the differentiation between these two. So I am going to remove this first. It's going to be ABC, which I mentioned as boolean. Let's see whether it is printing properly. See here, the class is boolean and then class is string, right? So here I mentioned still x actually, so that's why it is typing 10. So I will change this. See now, true boolean, true string, right? So this is how we can use type. Okay, right. And fine. So data type conversion, right? So we can uh, change the data type also. For example, so we are using here, this is integer, then boolean, then string. So we can change from uh, integer to float or float to integer. So like that. So how to do that? Let's see that. Okay. So for that I'm going to write some codes. a equal to float of 10, then print a comma, sorry, type of a. So you can see 10.0 class float. So like that we can change the data type. We can change the data type. Now let's see how to change from the integer to, sorry, float to integer. So b equal to integer of some value, as I said 1 2 3 dot 4 5 6. So let me, sorry, 1 2 3 dot 4 5 6. Print b type of b. Okay, now I'm running it. So now you can see 1 2 3 only, it is not giving the remainder value. Okay, also it is marked as integer. So like that we can change. And let's see next how to get the value in runtime. How to get the value in runtime, let's see that. So for that we have something called function input. So using this input we can use, means we can get the data on runtime. Like when I am running some Python program, we can, while executing the Python program, we can provide the data. So like that. So same like that we have read command for the shell script, Linux shell script. So if you guys know about the shell script, so they can understand this, how this will work. So I am going to show you this input function. So here I am going to add some variable here also. While the variable value will be, I am going to assign this function. So the variable will be xyz equal to, then we will be, most probably we will use the value, but here instead of value I am going to use input function. Then I am going to print it. Print value of, let me give this value of xyz is xyz. I am going to print this. So we have a function called input, so we can use that function to get value in runtime. Okay, so I'm assigning some, means I'm creating another variable, but instead of providing any value to the variable, I am just using the input function as a value to that variable. Okay, and after that I am printing the variable here. So this is how you need to mention. So you know that how to string, means how to mention the string, but here you need to use plus symbol to print the value of input function. Okay, means value of the variable. Okay, with plus symbol. So I'm giving this simply, right? So why? Because if you are not giving any space, simply after this it will, the value will become without space. So that's why I'm giving the space also here. Okay, so I'm running this now. So when I am running, it is not giving anything, simply the cursor is blinking. So but I am typing the value, it is taking the value. So in the real time, if you are using like this, you need to again print some value here, print some string here. So enter a value, enter a value, like that you can print. So that you can come to know when you are executing something, you need to input, okay, something you need to provide the value, so then only it will return to you. So now you can run this. So now you can see here, this is clearly, you can understand, even if some other person is coming and they are running this program, they clearly understand they need to enter some value. So I'm just giving the value. Okay, so whatever I am typing, that is showing us the value here. Okay, so the thing is that in the input the data type will be stored as string. So even whether you are typing the integer value or boolean value or floating data type, whatever, it will be stored in the integer only. It will be stored in the integer only. So you can check this now by typing print type of x. See, class str, it is showing class str. So you can type 1 2 3. Okay, so again I'm running this 1 minute. 2 3. See, whatever you are giving, everything will be considered as string only. The input function will save the data as a string only. It's, the data might be whatever you are giving, that's not a problem, but it will save as a string only. So you need to know that. Okay, so next we are going to discuss about operators. Okay friends, yeah, we'll talk about the operators in the next session. Okay, thank you.